Oh, whoa, look at all these awesome characters from the franchise. We have everyone from part 1 all the way to part 8. I wonder what the main screen looks like. Oh my god, what is that? Okay, maybe I'll give it a pass. It's very basic, very outdated, but it's a remaster. Let's go into the story mode. Oh, okay. There is no story mode. Alright, so JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R is officially 2 years old, and I personally really enjoyed the game for what it is. However, calling this game a remaster is one of the most devious things that the company could probably do. I just want to say I don't hate this game. Like I said, I do really enjoy this game, but here are some of the things that I really dislike about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. So obviously we do have the actual main menu. For me, a fighting game main menu needs to be really good. A fighting game in terms of lifespan isn't gonna last as long as, say, a story game or an arcade shooting game. So making sure everything in said fighting game is polished and looks good is really, really important to me. But I think this menu is incredibly outdated, and they definitely could have changed it because they did change some things from All-Star Battle into All-Star Battle R. Now, in the original Bizarre Adventures All-Star Battle, this game actually came with a story mode leading from part 1 all the way to part 7. I don't remember if there was a part 8 story because they shafted it so hard. Although the story for All-Star Battle originally wasn't very great and had a lot of text boxes with 0 cutscenes, it did do a good job of filling in where the story could be, and any new player would get a rough idea of what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is. However, in All-Star Battle R, this story mode is completely gone and replaced with some gauntlet thing, story gauntlet, Timu, Goodwill, Poundland game mode. Now, I'm not going to bash on this completely. I do enjoy going through this All-Star Battle mode, as it's called in All-Star Battle R, but I personally would have much preferred a story mode, and again, doesn't have to be anything crazy for a story mode. This isn't Eyes of Heaven, where the whole game is based on story mode, but they could have just given us something, or at least given us the option to do the story mode that the original All-Star Battle gave us, and the option to choose what All-Star Battle R has given us. Also, please tell me why Part 8 has no canon fights. They're all just with the other JoJos from different parts. Back when this game released, it was okay. Part 8 wasn't that deep back then. But now, when this game came out, 2022, Part 8's finished. We're on Part 9 with JoJo Joestar. So there is no reason why you couldn't include Part 8 in the roster, in the canon fights of this All-Star Battle mode. I think this is just yet again another case of anime game developers being incredibly lazy, knowing that the fans will eat up whatever they throw in their plate. Moving to the character roster itself, it is so dumb. Tell me why Part 3 and Part 4 have some of the most characters in the game. There is definitely more characters you can include for Part 1, Part 2, Part 5, 6, 7, 8. Especially 8, okay? Especially 8. Justice for JoJolion, I swear. But again, surely in a fighting game with different parts of the series, you'd want a balanced out roster. You wouldn't want 2 characters from Phantom Blood and then 20 different characters from Stardust Crusaders. You can easily balance it out. Part 1, you have Jonathan, Dio, Zeppeli, Speedwagon, some of the mobsters even, the zombies, Jack the Ripper, Buford. You could easily add more Part 1 characters. Same goes for Part 2. Part 3, even then you could add some different variations in characters. Tell me why we got characters like Pesci in the roster as well? And Yuya, I think his name is? Why did we get those characters when we could have gotten someone much more important? Why did we get Yuya and Pesci instead of Abakio? I understand that Abakio is DOC, but realistically Abakio should be base game roster. Why is Stroheim a DLC? These are characters that should have been in the base game, and even then they're not really DLC because they're in Eyes of Heaven. They're just porting characters. I'm very glad that they added Toru and Wonder of You into the roster, but even then, why is there not more Part 8 characters? Part 8 is finished, like I said, we're on Part 9. JoJo has revealed his stand, he's already killed someone, so there's no reason why they can't add Part 8 characters into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. Why didn't we get Alessi in the character roster? That would be a really cool DLC to have. Say what you want about Alessi as a character in general, but you have to admit, he would be a really cool character to play as in All-Star Battle R. and would also make sense for him to be a DLC. Don't even get me started on some of the color choices in this game. When the original JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle came out, the colors weren't bad, they were fine. We didn't have official colors for these characters yet of the original release in 2013, but now we do. So All-Star Battle R actually went back and corrected the colors of these previous characters. However, as the time of recording this and at the time of All-Star Battle R coming out, steelballrun hadn't been animated, neither had Part 8. But tell me why you gave Josuke or Gappy an orange outfit? We're all human, we can all see bad color design, there's no difference no matter what race you are, no matter where you come from, what language you speak. I think nearly everyone can agree that the orange choice to have on Gappy / Josuke is completely idiotic. That is hideous, bro. Granted, they gave us the option for alternate costumes and different colors, but it's still ugly. I even don't like Gyro in this game because of his color scheme. At least in All-Star Battle R, Johnny is actually white and blue and not green and ginger. And this is another little complaint of what we have, and I know he's a guest character, but why don't we have more characters from the Boa series? I've personally never watched it, so I don't know if there is any more characters, but I think it'll be really cool to see more special guest characters appearing in All-Star Battle that come from the Boa series. Now tell me why all of the different game modes in All-Star Battle and All-Star Battle R play the exact same. There is no difference between online battles and offline battles, computer versus computer, P1 versus P2, player versus computer. At the end of the day, they're all the same. And I appreciate these being added, sure, but in a fighting game you really need different modes to keep the player engaged long term. There's only so many online battles a person can play. There's only so many offline battles and com battles that a player can sit there, play and watch. The reason Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is failing is lack of content. At the end of the day, at its core, Sparking Zero is just offline battles and online battles. And at the end of the day, they play the exact same. They play the exact same, 1-to-1. And this is just something that really bothers me because I think All-Star Battle R is really, really good. I just wish it was more like Heritage of the Future, I think it's called, in terms of roster and modes. Also, in my opinion, for 2013, these character models and the art style were really, really cool. You know, taking a manga look, adapting Araki's art style into 3D game models was really, really cool. But in the big year of this game coming out in 2022 and right now with 2025, these models are hideous, man. And you can really tell that they come from 2013. They are incredibly outdated. They are so outdated to the point if you do a side-by-side comparison of the original All-Star Battle and the modern All-Star Battle R, you can barely tell a difference. And that is awful to see for a game that's branded as a remaster. And reminded that you're selling this for full price, by the way. I don't know, man. You're not even hitting the bare minimum with this one. I could go on and on about graphics. That is the one thing about this game that I truly do hate. And thank you to the modders that are fixing these issues, but it shouldn't be down to modders to fix your game and do the bare minimum. Some of these mods literally let you play with their anime art style, and I've gotta say, from the bottom of my heart, this anime modded art style looks so much better than the art style that they have for the remastered version of All-Star Battle. The current base game of All-Star Battle art just looks so outdated despite the fact it came out in 2022. We had ray tracing in 2022, we had realistic games even before 2022. Anime games still looked really good in 2022, so why did they not even do the bare minimum when it came to remastering JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R? Again, I don't hate JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, but it does have its fair share of problems and issues that just come from lazy design from the game developer's point. And again, I genuinely enjoyed this game for what it is. I do love it, I do mod it. Tell me why Hamon is blue in the base game. Tell me that, bro. Not having blood in this game is also a big thing. What? But despite everything, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R is definitely an enjoyable game. It is definitely a hit or miss. And for what it is, I do enjoy it. I'm happy with what we got, but there are just some things that really do bug me and annoy me to the point that I've literally modded them out and modded them in. There's actually a mod that lets you play as the Part 9 character JoJo Joestar. Why are modders doing your job for you? But again, if you are new here, then do feel free to come down and subscribe, as it helps out a lot and also pushes me out into the algorithm. While you're down there, you might as well leave a like and a comment. It is free, of course. And again, I don't hate Bizzare Adventure All-Star Battle R. I really do enjoy it. There's just some things that could have been handled much better.